Hey dreamers! Welcome back to our cozy corner where pixels feel like heartbeat and every build hides a secret longing to be seen. Today we're stepping into a different kind of history, Roblox history, but told as a quiet, unfolding romance with legends, clues, and the kind of truths that warm the breath when you least expect them. It's Roblox Myths in History, 5 Truths Revealed. Each one a doorway to wonder and to the kind of courage that makes two people and their shared passion for creation feel a little closer to forever. Our story begins not in a grand museum, but in a small, sunlit studio where a pair of creators first bumped into each other like two levels colliding in just the right way. The myth going around is simple: if a rumor lingers long enough, it must be true. The whispered legend says Roblox history is just a string of big drops, famous games, and giant updates. It's a romantic notion in some ways, a simple, brave idea that history belongs to the loud and the flashy. But every whisper carries a hidden note, a cadence that invites a closer listen. Tonight we listen closely. Myth 1. The lost city of Robloxia is a fairy tale. The kind of thing that exists only in fan art and late-night chats. The truth, I tell you, is more tender. Robloxia isn't a fixed place on a map but a living thread woven across servers and forums. Built and rebuilt by hands that refuse to let a dream disappear. In the earliest days, builders tucked little skylines into the corners of shared spaces. This is where the first sparks of a city were born. In sketches on whiteboards and in the careful alignment of bricks that felt like a promise. The romance here isn't a map you can hold. It's the memory of how someone kept returning to a project they believed in, even when it failed, again and again. Until one day the city breathed. The truth is patience, persistence, and the soft trust between two people who meet when the night is quiet and the screen glows like a lantern. The lost city isn't lost. It evolves with every rebuild, and in that evolution, love for the craft grows stronger. SFX, soft_chime, 1. 5 Myth 2, history is a straight line, all milestones marching forward like soldiers. The truth is more like a stairwell you climb with a partner, pausing on every rung to admire the view. In Roblox history, every update is a choice to stay, to remix, to ask, what if? The great myths suggest progress comes from the loud voices at the top. Yet the truths come from the quiet collaborations at the bottom. A modeler and a scripter meet on a forum thread. A tiny spark becomes a shared project. And suddenly the baton passes from one dream to two, with a rhythm neither person could have imagined alone. The romance here is not about sweeping triumphs but about steady hands and patient hearts. About two people learning to argue with care. To listen to crunching bricks and careful code as if they're listening to a favorite song again for the first time. The truth reveals itself in long evenings spent tweaking a platform, testing a mechanic, and laughing when a bug finally behaves. Almost like destiny tipping its hat. Myth 3, admin power is absolute, a crown that grants instant magic. The truth is subtler, gentler, and perhaps more brave. Roblox history shows that big powers find their strength not in control but in trust from creators. When an admin listens, changes come not from coercion but from care. A small studio becomes a classroom. A private server opens to friends who become partners in a grander vision. The romance of this truth is in the alliances built from generosity, mentors who lift others, developers who step back to let someone else shine, players who forge communities where every voice matters. Power, real power, is a harmony of responsibility and humility. A chorus that sounds sweeter when it's shared. And in that chorus, relationships deepen not because love demands attention, but because attention to another's dream softens the world and makes room for the beauty of two people choosing to stay, to create, to believe. Myth 4, only big creators shape Roblox history. The truth hums a gentler note. Every tiny project, every shared screenshot, every late-night version in a noisy chat, contributes a thread to the tapestry. The brilliance of Roblox history isn't measured only by viral games. It's measured by the quiet bravery of someone who posts a WIP, accepts feedback with grace, and keeps going after a setback. A couple of creators might start as strangers in a chat room, then become partners who learn the art of compromise, who learn to translate a dream into a design that others can feel in their bones. The romance here is grounded in trust and teamwork. In that daily choice to show up for someone else's idea as if it were your own heartbeat. The truth is that every shared script, every tested build, every time a hobby becomes a livelihood, is a small miracle that lights a longer road toward happiness, both in craft and in love. SFX, soft_sci, 1. 2 Myth 5, history is boring, a dusty shelf of old updates no one touches anymore. The truth is a sunrise across a sprawling map. It belongs to the curious, the hopeful, the people who refuse to let a world they adore become inert. Roblox history is full of moments that felt like turning points. A new tool that unlocked a breath of color. A collaborative challenge that braided two teams into one longer story. A celebration of a release that brought strangers to care about each other's growth. The romance here isn't dramatic fireworks, it's the gentle, persistent glow of a dream shared. It's the way two players meet in a crowded server and discover, then decide to write it together. The truth is that history awakens when curiosity meets kindness, when someone says, "Let's try this together." And the world tilts toward a future that feels a little kinder, a little warmer, a little more possible. SFX, heartbeat_soft, 1. 5 And so the 5 truths stand like quiet lighthouses along a coastline of code and bricks and friendship. The lost city isn't a map you memorize, it's a memory you nurture. History doesn't march in a straight line, it climbs with care, with hands that hold each other through glitches and triumphs. Power is not a crown to flaunt but a trust to honor. The biggest creators aren't the only authors of our past. The smallest projects are seeds that bloom because someone paused to praise a tiny victory. And boring? Not if you look with the right eyes. The eyes that see a universe in a single click. A love story in a shared update. A future unfolding one thoughtful decision at a time. If you're listening and feeling a spark of hope warm your chest, you're not alone. The stories in Roblox history aren't distant myths, they're mirrors. They reflect the resilience that every creator brings to their desk, the kindness that builds communities, and yes, the romance that sneaks in when you're busy plotting graphs and lighting in a game and suddenly realize you found a companion who wants to keep learning with you. The truths reveal something more intimate, that love, in its many tender forms, grows strongest when it's watered by shared curiosity and the courage to keep showing up. So take a breath, and carry this with you, the next time you log in. You're not just entering a game world. You're stepping into a history being rewritten by you and by the hearts you'll meet along the way. If you enjoyed this journey through myths and truths, share a story in the comments about a moment when a small collaboration changed your Roblox world. Tell us how you found a friend or a partner who made the project feel possible. How you learned to listen better. How you celebrated a breakthrough together. Because in the end, the most enduring legend isn't a place on a map or a line of code. It's the people who refuse to give up on each other, who turn every challenge into a chance to grow closer, and who discover somewhere along the path that the happy ending you hoped for wasn't out there in a finish line but here, in the quiet momentum of a shared dream. So here's to the myths that taught us to dream, the truths that taught us to persevere, and the romance that quietly reminded us that love can bloom in the most unexpected corners of history, especially when we choose to bloom together. And as the screen dims softly, remember every Roblox legend began with a spark and a kind heart. If you've stayed up tuning a script or thanking a teammate for a stubborn bug finally obeying, you've written history with a friend. Carry that warmth forward, love and creativity will guide you. And if you feel unsure, breathe and open your notebook. List small wins, thank a friend, try tomorrow. The map may bend, but courage keeps you on road. If you enjoyed this journey through myths and truths, share a story in the comments about a moment when a small collaboration changed your Roblox world. Tell us how you found a friend or a partner who made the project feel possible. How you learned to listen better. How you celebrated a breakthrough together. Because in the end, the most enduring legend isn't a place on a map or a line of code. It's the people who refuse to give up on each other, who turn every challenge into a chance to grow closer, and who discover somewhere along the path that the happy ending you hoped for wasn't out there in a finish line but here, in the quiet momentum of a shared dream. So here's to the myths that taught us to dream, the truths that taught us to persevere, and the romance that quietly reminded us that love can bloom in the most unexpected corners of history, especially when we